And thanks again for joining us. It's the SC2L. It's currently 3-2 in favor of Axiom over Root. Root has been eliminated from contention for the top 4 spot of SC2L's playoff system, but Axiom is still vying for that position. As Day9 said earlier, they are just outside at rank 5. They need some wins, and they need it versus Root, and they probably need it versus Evil Geniuses. So right now we're going to go into Puck taking on Crank. You now know the odds. You know what's at stake. Can Puck do it? Taking out Crank in a PvP.
Belshire Vestige is the map to not go Colossus on. It's extremely tough to figure out the right times to do it because even though some of those spaces are cramped, the angles absolutely favor someone who goes for that that Archon's Immortal style. In particular, you take a third. Well, oh my god. Oh my god. Look, enough of the mid-game analysis in the bottom. You know what? In the top left-hand corner, the person not cheesing this game, the person who's hoping to tie this series up for Root Gaming, it is none other than Puck! And down in the bottom right-hand corner, as...
Also the top left-hand corner is all the meaning. Like...
Screw it. The other dude in the bottom right from Team Axiom, as Jeff puts it, predictably unpredictable, it is Crank.
And this should be the proxy stalker version of this build, which means we will still see gas and probably the cybernetics core, but sometimes not, being built inside the main of Crank. I'll tell you what, if this is just straight up proxy gateways, I really don't like this. I do not like it because you can accidentally hold that off as Puck. You can actually not scout it from over there and still have stalkers out in time. And there's the gateway, but that's okay. Gateway goes down first. And with the probe still coming out at Crank's side of the map, I think it's the proxy stalkers. Yeah. It's what he did to knock out Huck from WCS, I believe.
And
oh my god.
It's how he failed O2. And, oh, well, that's it. It's done. Puck is going to be able to hold this off with ease. I mean, gateways at the exact same timing. Puck is just going to not build a second assimilator. We see there's gateway number 2 for Crank. Puck can easily respond by building a second gateway himself.
And easily he'll do so. I mean, there's such a buffer in time between these two bases. He's mining 3-3 off the gas, and honestly, he needs to stop that. You can leave, like, 1 probe on the gas. That's fine. And Puck's going to take a risk here. Puck says, you know what? Those gateways are so far away. And that second gateway is built at such a weird time that I think, yep, and there it is. The Cybernetics core does get scouted, so Puck knows what's coming. And Puck says, okay, I'll add my second gateway, certainly, but not before my Cybernetics core.
Oh, jeez. Oh, God. It's just so stressful to watch this right now. I mean, it's a very exacting build. Crank, halted at 14 of 18, is going to build 2 stalkers and then build his next pylon.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very, very thinly timed build that can backfire very, very hard. And we see Puck chrono boosting out a Mothership core. It's going to be very close. He's actually going to go for a second Zealot. I think Puck should be okay, especially with a third gateway coming down.
Yeah, he's going to make a Zealot here as well. This pylon at the top of the ramp from Crank is so that he can have high ground vision. He needs to run away from the Mothership core for now. But if he doesn't have high ground vision, his stalkers will have to breach the top of this ramp to reveal what's up there every single time. But we have the 2 stalkers just now joining for Crank. Crank has a very small window of time where right now he is the top dog. Puck is going to pull back. He wants to buy time. Zealot's moving forward. They're going to try to clobber out the health from that Zealot. And again, Puck is just buying time. He does not need to win right now. He's the guy not all-inning.
Wow, what great micro from Puck. Picking off the Zealot without suffering any losses right now. It looks like in that unit's loss tab, we see just probes at this point in time, and now a single Zealot there. Ooh, Puck's got to be really careful about those rally points. Mothership core is at 90 energy, so it needs another 20 seconds for the photon overcharge. Puck's just buying time for the photon overcharge.
I just don't think it's that desperate. I mean, 2, 3 probes, nah, maybe just 2, but maybe 3.
There's the 100, boom, photon overcharge goes down, and if you're in Crank's shoes, you are just feeling a world of pain, because now that top high ground pylon is going to fall. You can't really micro your way out of it. Warp gate hasn't been started yet for Puck, so that edge is it's a little iffy at this point.
This pylon will die, and as you said earlier on, it's such a tight build that basically even just that pylon going down does temporarily supply block our blue Protoss player. But here's the big deal. No high ground vision. So if Puck can push off these Stalkers from that ramp, which it looks like we'll have to wait and see if that is going to be possible, then all of a sudden Crank is in damn near an unwinnable position, certainly with aggression. And with so much of his production over here, I mean, I think he just leaves if he can't win with this army.
Oh, gosh, it's going to be very close. It's 6 Stalkers, soon to be 7 Stalkers, versus... Well, I mean, now it's going to be 3 Zealots and 5 Stalkers. Yeah, I mean, Puck is going to crush this.
Yeah. Even microing back the Wounded Stalker. It does actually wander too far forward and does die, but now, boom, he has high ground advantage, does Puck. And Puck's going to back away. Honestly, that's not really being aware of the situation. If you sit at the top of that ramp with your Mothership Core in this army, Crank can do all the kiting he wants to do, but he will always get the second shot off, and eventually he'll lose out in that trade.
Yeah, you know, Puck is still pulling ahead. 3 Zealots, 5 Stalkers versus 7 Stalkers, and Puck doesn't quite get that. Does need to begin locking down that ramp,
yep.
like in serious, like dedicated fashion. 23, and it looks like Crank has begun adding on a second gas geyser.
I know he's got 9 probes mining his gas, or excuse me, his minerals. Now 7. I don't know what he thinks he's going to accomplish with this. He's maybe going to try to squeeze out a sentry or 2. And go for like a ramp block. I don't know, but it's not going to get there. Puck's going to go down the ramp. Time Stop goes down behind this. Crank has nowhere to run. GG is called out.
Wow.
And in a flash of a heartbeat, Puck takes out Crank in this PvP to push it to an ace match. Sean, I'm telling you, man, Crank cheeses in almost every PvP. I don't even know if I can take credit for this prediction because he just, that's what he does. He does it all the time.
Yeah, I mean, that's that. Series is tied up.
So we're all tied up. It's an ace match point now. And Conrad, our producer, is going to slow roll the crap out of this neck. Nope, it's right there. Boom. Ace match. Minigun versus Ryung in a PvT. Sean, what do you think about these selections?
What? Ryung makes total sense. He's an ace player for that team. He is the most accomplished, the best under pressure. We saw him almost win an absolutely sensational game against Sage earlier. Minigun. I mean, why is that not Sage?
Yeah, you know, it's been interesting with him. Like, we don't see Yu-Gi-Oh! Here. Sage has missed a few lineups. I get the feeling that it's hard to coordinate between Korea and these...
Maybe so.
Well, I don't know, though, because Axiom's all Korean. Like, I feel like it would be easy to say, hey, Sage is playing... I don't know. I don't want to delve in there. They know their business. We don't know it. But as it is, it's Minigun, and... As you said, Minigun has made Colossus Phoenix look pretty good, but also you noted, Sean, this is a really good point you made earlier, those Korean Terrans kind of made it look silly, and Ryung is a very good Korean Terran.
It's going to be very tough, but whatever the circumstance, we will know the outcome of this best of 7 between Axiom and Root Gaming. Stay tuned because the match will conclude after this.